Hello and welcome back to the GameTyrant Winter Series 2020 League of Legends. All that jazz.
You got it all.
I'm Alex, Honest Dragon Leon.
And I'm Joel Jason Nielsen, here for another week of awesome League of Legends.
And what teams do we got going today?
You bet. We got our first game will be Garcrush 1 versus Garcrush 3. And we do have to apologize because we said we were going to do a pre-game
pre-show,
pre-game
but
show.
Unfortunately the coronavirus
Really
keep
just
everyone at home.
It really just bumbled our plans, you know?
It took over the world. Really.
Jeez, pro. But yes, so we do have Garcrush 1 versus Garcrush 3 as our first game tonight, and then the one the next game, which is the one that we'll want to focus on, will be Garcrush 2 versus Down to Flash, which they're both undefeated right now.
Yeah.
So
both 7-0.
yes.
So that's going to be really exciting. I'm excited to see that. And Garcrush 2, Garcrush 3, though. Or Garcrush 1 versus Garcrush 3.
Yep.
Seems like it's also going to be a close one.
Yes, so they're both actually 2 and 3 right now, with a couple of forfeits.
Yeah.
This whole series is doing its thing. But yeah, they're both 2 and 3. They're middle of the pack, and it's going to be, I think, just a bloodbath, just back and forth.
Yeah,
all
I think
around.
it's gonna be very either aggressive or one team's gonna take over.
Absolutely. So in Garcrush 1, we'll introduce the players here. In the top lane, we do have Cubstep with Savage Beast 0519 as their jungler, Fable as their mid laner, Crash Can in the bot lane, and MN Pestilence as their support. And then Garcrush 3, they have RTB 4000 in the top lane, Forestoken, which is how I say it, but other people say it differently. Forestocoon? Okay, Forestocoon is their jungler. Lord Arkin, mid lane. Solitude in the bot lane, and then Lowakits as their support, and we are jumping into whatever it's called,
Pro Draft.
Pro Draft.
Do you want to explain what Pro Draft is in case?
Yeah, so for those who haven't been able to be in the be able to watch the tournament much, we have a Pro Draft that is outside of the League of Legends client, so that for those who don't own all of the champions, they can try and first pick a champion that maybe they don't have. To gain priority of champ select. That way, everyone already has their players, and then we get into
Everybody
League client.
has the option of champs, and
yep. And so here we are, Garcrush 3 here in blue side with Garcrush 1 on red side.
Now I hear that red side typically has the advantage in draft.
All right, what do we? What is it like a 51%? What is it, 55?
In the LCS, it's actually a 47% win rate on the opposite team, on the opposite side.
Oh, wow, interesting.
So there's almost a 3% gap so far.
Okay.
And obviously with LCS starting back up,
Hey, finally.
Change.
Yeah,
finally.
A week off, and I was like, dude,
Remote.
What do I do with my life? But here into Pro Draft, we do have Garcrush 1 with the ban on Caitlyn, which I think is a good ban because Solitude with his Caitlyn is an absolute monster. That was what I was going to say was one of their win conditions is to get Caitlyn. Unfortunately,
Took
that's
it off
out
the table.
That's out. So we'll scribble that off of the notes. We do have Aphelios here as the first ban for Garcrush.
Yeah, I think Aphelios really strong pick. So definitely good to get that off the table. Almost permaban in All Pro.
Yeah, he's absolutely strong. His ultimate is with the right guns. It's a monster. But it looks like we do have a missed ban here for Garcrush 3, and they might go for another. We don't know what's going on for the second ban here. Okay.
Where it looks like we're going to reset. It looks like they didn't lock in their ban in time. So
we got a few blunders.
Issues.
Yeah, a few blunders going on. It's okay. It's okay. But let's, once we get this together, as I was talking earlier, the Caitlyn is kind of one of those win conditions that Garcrush 3 needed.
Yeah.
But now I assume they're going to, I guess bans happen first anyway, but they will be banning Caitlyn. I totally assume that's going to be the case.
But it looks like a lot of bot lane focus on both sides, really.
Yeah, I think Solitude and Lowakits as together, I think they will just be for Garcrush 3 where they want to focus, as well as shutting down the enemy jungler. They'll want to...
And so that's why I was confused. I think that Garcrush 3 should be targeting jungle bans over
AD carry bans.
bans.
But we have seen that Crash Can over in Garcrush 1 is kind of a savage.
Really
kind of a savage. We do think he has... I don't know if I want to start mentioning things. Who knows if they're watching this stream while they're doing pro draft. So I'm not gonna tell them what my personal game plan would be for Garcrush 1, but we'll talk about it once we get into pro draft. But I think a big focus will be for Garcrush 1 is to get Crash Can fed.
Yeah.
And so
make him really big, take over the game. He can tailor that to each lane as needed.
Get Crash Can fed and then carry to late game. Like hold to late game if anything. If they're not already winning, at least try and maintain. Okay, so we do...
So it looks like we're redoing it here.
I think this might be flipped.
Is it?
Because we did have the Caitlyn.
It's correct now.
Okay.
Oh, it's correct now.
But either way, we do have the Caitlyn ban once again with Swain. Aphelios and Leona are also off the table. Another 2 heavy hitters right there. Coming in for the last ban
Morgana.
in this first phase is that Morgana, which I think
Morgana
will be
is definitely a strong pick. I don't know if you saw jungle changes. She was added to the list of junglers.
Yeah, and I played against Morgana earlier today.
I did too yesterday. Morgana jungle.
We shut her down. She didn't get too far. But
the enemy Morgana jungle definitely took over the game.
Ooh.
I was playing Jax.
Yikes.
With no way of CCing them, and I'm not very good on Jax.
There you go. That's a big problem.
So that definitely gave her an advantage.
But while we're talking about jungle, we do have Zach in the pick for Garcrush 3, which will be a big pick in their need to shut down the enemy jungler. I think that'll be big. And Zach is always a good pick. Or he could be a support.
He always picks that, isn't it? He's that's one of his pocket picks.
Yeah, Forestokun. I will not say that right ever, I promise you. And I'm sorry, it's just not how it's going to come out.
That's all right.
Forestokun with his classic
Sejuani.
Zach. And now I think Sejuani is a good pick for Garcrush 1 to be safe. Sejuani can be 0-3 and still be a force to be reckoned with. She has so many CC abilities and opportunities that if she goes in and dies, that's okay. All she needed to do was get her crowd control off and then let the rest of her team take on the rest. So, but we do have a Pike and a Thresh picked on opposite ends here. So we do have our supports showing up.
Wow.
A lot of hook champions trying to go for those heavy aggro engages, trying to get that bot lane fed.
And Pike being really good, really aggressive support.
His ultimate is going to be very clutch for Garcrush 1 in getting a if Crash cannot close out the deal. That's all right. You got a Pike to come in with an execution and get that gold anyway. So, so I think it's a great pick. Fantastic
Jinx.
to get Crash Can fed.
With the blind Zoe pick.
Okay.
Potentially coming out on Garcrush 1.
We do have. There we go. Yep. There we got the pick on Zoe. I do enjoy a good Zoe. I enjoy watching Zoe finesse people. That's my thing. Or go for blind shots.
Tricky.
Very blind shots are my favorite. But we do have the Jinx, which is a good safe pick. She's always strong. Just get some crit on her, and she'll do well.
And, of course, banning out the Orianna, because that is a counter to Zoe.
Yes. Yep.
With the shielding and the very easily empowered movement speed. Get that off the table. Misfortune ban. Very high priority pick.
A high priority indeed. I think I think she's strong. I don't know if it was a great ban to use for Garcrush 3, also because I've got my idea of what I think Garcrush 1 should be doing. We should be seeing soon. There's the double target ban for AD carry with the Misfortune and the Jhin.
Wow.
They're both pretty strong, but I think
they're going for an early game bot lane here. With
and we got the Lucian. Did I call it or what, guys? Did I call it or what? That's my game plan right there. Get Crash Can Lucian. And I did not want to say that to like sway anything, but we got the Lucian pick for Guard Crush 1, and I think that will be absolutely bonkers for him, and I think he'll just steamroll so early on.
Definitely take over with that. That's he's been playing it. What's his win rate on it? Did you look?
I don't know particularly what his win rate is on Lucian.
Still.
But it's one of his tops. It's one of his top 80 carries that CrashCam plays. So we do have a Heimerdinger coming in. I assume that's going to be for that mid lane. It's just going to be a perma push mid lane for him, which will be kind of annoying for Zoe, but I think she'll be able to manage pretty okay because her Paddle Star is able to do AoE damage. You can get one of the little turrets as well as a minion or two. So
that's true.
So it might be it might still be okay for Zoe here.
Oh, Mordekaiser. For the top lane, that's a really strong pick. I know that Tanner plays Mordekaiser a lot. But who are they? Who's Garcrush 1?
We're looking for a top laner right now. Who we looking for? Cubstep.
The Jax.
Plays plenty of bruisers, and there we are. We got a Jax showing up.
He just did this last game.
we did see, in his op.gg, he's been sporting some Jax here, so I feel like he might be very warmed up to the idea of how Jax works, and I expect him to do pretty okay against this Mordekaiser. And with that's our team compositions. We'll be jumping right into the league client in just a second to get those picks and bans done for that game. So.
Yeah, for the real way, the in client. Picks advance.
Yes. Yeah, so we'll just do this one more quick time, get it ready to go. And with, what do you think? What are you thinking about these picks and bans here?
I'm pretty excited to see the bot lane. I want to see the solution pop off early. Right. He is more of an aggressive early game focused champion as well as Pyke, especially if he goes the electrocute route.
Right.
Then they're looking at really early aggression, and especially with a Sejuani in the jungle. They got their tank option, but they can also take it towards the late game, kind of scale with the Zoe and the Jax, and Jax can solo carry a game.
Right.
And so I think it could definitely go in favor of Garcrush 1. What do you think the win condition for Garcrush 3 would be?
Garcrush 3, where to begin? I think their Mordekaiser, I think their top lane is going to be, RTB has got to play out of his mind in that top lane because they'll need that double front line of the Zac, or I guess it's a triple front line with the Thresh, but he's more of like an engage tool than I would say a front line. Well, I guess that. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
tanks.
I get you.
Thresh is not exactly a tank. He's just the engage tool. But we have a Zac and we have a Mordekaiser that I think are just such big guys. They can survive for so long and even divide up the team of Garcrush 1, especially with sending someone to the death realm with Mordekaiser. And so that's going to be something that the RTB really needs to focus in on, is who to target his ultimate on when team fights come to play. So all right, we're almost there. We got almost all the bans done, all the picks done, and then we'll jump into game.
And I think Jax can be an easy target for Garcrush 3, where he won't be able to do much until late. And same with the Zoe, unless she can land some sleepy trouble bubbles and pop off that way. But I think that they can target top and mid early, as where I think Sejuani is going to be focused bot lane. And so they can try and snowball those lanes and just hold them off, let Jinx scale up. Also.
I definitely agree with you with that. We do have a... Oh, do they? We're just informed. Everyone, because they're all friends, obviously, Garcrush 1, Garcrush 3. They all have the clan tag of Gar Heart. I love that. That's amazing.
And except for Crash Can. Crash Can does not
Crash
have
Can.
it.
What a shame, buddy. What a shame. Just.
But I know Tanner doesn't like clan tags either.
Also, I just realized we have MN Pestilence who typically is their support is playing their mid lane right now with Zoe, and then Crash Can is playing Pyke with Fable as their Lucian. I didn't even notice that until now. So that is a change up in the team roster. MN Pestilence wanted to play the Zoe. Fable wanted to play the Lucian. Crash Can wanted to play the Pyke. A little bit of a shake-up, but I mean, can we be surprised? A lot of them are 80 carry.
Yeah, they're all. I saw four of Garcrush 1 players are 80 carry mains.
Yep. Yeah, and so it's like maybe they just wanted to shake things up, and they didn't have to. I mean, they're already on the team. They're already a team. They can, as long as they're okay with everything, they don't have to play the role that they were initially planning to play.
And I think you could always do something like the Lucian mid. You know, I have seen that in a lot of either pro play or even in my solo queue games. You see Lucian mid, Lucian top.
But if that's a Lucian mid, then Fable, I shake my fist at you because you're not in the right position here. LCS orders mid is right in the middle of the pack here. We do have 2 minutes before we get into the game. So actually, let's talk about this. With the shakeup on Garcrush 1, Crash Can, who is their highest ranked player on the team. We were like, oh, just get him fed on Lucian. Like, let's get this going. What do you think of him on the Pyke?
I think the benefit of him being the support is that he can roam similar to a jungler, and he can be aware of everything that's going on the map. He can have an impact on every lane versus as AD carry, you know, his team has to be reliant on him later.
Right.
And hold off things on their own.
I definitely agree. I think as a support, you're more of a playmaker than you are the damage dealer. And like AD carries can be playmakers as well, but I find that a lot of supports, a lot of very good supports are the playmakers. And so
shot calling.
Yeah. And so I think that'll be a big thing that Crash Can's like he'll be able to do very well for Garcrush 1 here, is to be that playmaker and be in those lanes, being able to roam here and there, everywhere. But Garcrush 3 has so much CC.
It's
so many different types of crowd control. Practically everyone has a crowd control option. Everyone has a crowd control.
Yep,
I was about to say except Heimerdinger. I was like, no, he's got a stun.
Yeah.
Everyone has some form of crowd control, including Jinx. And
I think the least crowd control would be from Jinx and Mordekaiser. But even then, that's still like it's hard CC for Jinx. Mordekaiser will just stomp you anyway.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's lockdowns, it's grabs, it's hooks, it's flays.
They want to stop Garcrush 1 from having fun.
I think if they can layer their CC correctly on Garcrush 3, they could win every team fight as long as they correctly use their crowd control.
Yeah.
Get those chain CCs going on the right champions here, and they can win those team fights. However, there's just I think Lucian's just a little bit stronger of a champion. I think Zoe can make plays from distances a little bit better.
It's true.
It's going to be a coin flip. And people at home, I guess we've done a poll before. Who do we think? It's a coin flip in my opinion. So what do you all think at home? Garcrush 1 or Garcrush 3?
I'm putting my money on Garcrush 1. I think they can pull it out, especially I think with being Pyke. Pyke is really good at taking over. And if he can keep a lead, if he doesn't fall behind from all of that hard CC and heavy engage, then I think they can pull it out.
Okay. I would normally agree with you. Like I do agree with you.
Yeah.
I will say that I think Garcrush 1 will win, but I'll root for Garcrush 3 this time. You know, I'll say that Garcrush 3 are going to win this game, and it's because I hope that they can layer that CC correctly, get it to work in their favor,
and especially with it not being Crash Can on Lucian.
Yeah,
you know, it being Fable makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it might just be a completely different dynamic in that bot lane with Fable, maybe maybe he is a little bit lower ranked than Crash Can. But
It's
they're all
true.
kind of the same, all kind of in the same boat when it comes to rank. They're all sitting pretty in gold.
Looks like we're getting
Ooh.
some early aggression over here from the Sejuani Savage Beasts in the early vision.
Now, if they can shut down that Sejuani, if Garcrush 3 can shut down that Sejuani, then I think that's another big thing is if they can get the neutral objective control. And so we are on Summoner's Rift. We are about 30 seconds before the minions start whacking each other in the middle of the lanes.
Yep.
And we had a little bit of a tussle happening on that top side of the map, just with some simple disengage and a back. Everyone's just chilling, laying down a picnic blanket and a basket, eat some food in those bushes.
Yep. just kind of hanging out, you know. No early invades.
Nope.
Which is good. You know. Invading right now could be a toss-up on who would win the invade.
Yeah, and we do notice that both junglers have started on the bottom side of the map. Sejuani on her blue buff, Zach on the red buff. I think Sejuani has more sustainability when she goes blue. Her clear is a little bit slower, though. I'll tell you that much. Her clear is a little bit slower, and so they might be trying to go for that top lane focus, you know, pathing through their buffs. But
already got some some heavy aggression down here in the bot lane. Crash Can already dropped below half.
Crash Can, you got to be careful, buddy. If you're, he has used one of his pots, but his gray health is not filling up because he's still in vision. So,
and I believe they're both going for full clears in this jungle. Both Zach and Sedge, I think they're both going for full clear.
Yes, Sejuani, Savage Beast, she can gank at level 3. It's pretty hard though. She doesn't have everything in her kit to be able to do much. So she can get a knockup and she can hit her her flail, but it's not particularly the strongest unless you go like to the top lane where they also have melee damage, because that's where she can proc her passive is both through her and through the Jax. And so they might just want to go for those full clears, look for 6, and then start making plays in the lanes. But we shall see. We shall see.
I think looks like they're going to go for a gank up here on the top side.
Ooh, there we go.
Savage Beast
gets the flash
forces
out.
the RTB flash. Okay. From Garcrush 1.
A decent gank. You walk away going, that was worthwhile.
That was worth it.
As long as Savage Beast comes back again, because you got 5 minutes of a flashless Mordekaiser.
And it looks
just
like
come
they
back.
are going to have a tussle for the scuttle here.
Ooh. Looks like all 3 people are showing up on each team here. Lord Arkin. Yeah, it looks like they're all pushed off, and Forresto Kuhn got the scuttle. I think I said it right.
Forresto Kuhn, yep.
Oh, rip.
Let's see.
And as of right now, it looks like just it's back and forth. We will see that okay, we got first blood down in that bot lane. We don't know exactly what happened, but
goes over to the Illusion.
But yeah, we got first blood. Fable getting the kill gold plus the first blood gold. I believe that's 600.
Yeah,
that's 600 gold.
I think it's first blood is 400.
Is it 4? Okay.
But yeah, that's an early first blood. They are wanting to be aggressive on that bot side, and I know that top and mid are both just trying to hold. And the gank comes out. Cubstep is looking like he's in trouble, and he tries to flash to take the kill.
Oh, and he dances on him. Oh,
a little bit of a BM coming over from RTB.
RTB
loving it.
Ripping on the guitar. I think that was an interesting.
Looks like it's 1-1.
Interesting blunder going on right there for Cubstep. He flashed forward to try and get the kill, but I don't think I don't think the RTB was low enough to die anyway, so he's just taking
so
turret shots, flashing forward, and he died.
It's always hard because you underestimate Mordekaiser's health. Plus, he did have Conqueror proc. So if they had both got one more auto on each other, he would have healed a little bit too. So.
That could be true here, but we do have a fight going on that river. Yeah. Ooh.
Getting caught out in the river, the Thresh hook, and he will fall to Lawakits.
We're gonna have an 80 carry Thresh now. He got the kill.
Drag.
Good drag priority. Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
So that was a good engage that occurred right there. Is letting Gar Crush 1 get that dragon, get those early objectives. And there we go. Yeah, we got the first dragon here for Gar Crush 1. Not too bad.
Yeah. And that'll also give Zach the scuttle.
Okay, looks like we do
Zoe
have
with the steal. Gets hooked by Lawakits.
Able to flash away with her Zoe flash.
Will stop the Foresto-kun engage.
All right, so we do have the replay of First Blood. So we had the hook coming in from Crash Can. It's just easy peasy. The hook into the stun from Pike is he was too far forward.
Yeah.
We'll say that is that Lawakits was too far forward with such low health. He should have been respecting the hook from Crash Can.
Yeah,
an easy First Blood for Fable.
He just very easy caught him out, you know, quite simply. But that does also give the advantage down here in the bot lane to the Lucian with that CS difference being quite big, and they're freezing this wave.
Yeah, why not? They can do whatever they want. There is no dragon right now to create priority for, and so
soaking up the XP.
Yeah, forcing Solitude and Lawakits to step up, open them up for a gank right there.
Sure, especially with the Sejuani being bot lane.
Yeah, she is getting her blue buff once again. I think she'll want to jump in for a kill, try and shut down Solitude here. There is quite a CS difference we can see here. Lucian. We do have Fable with 58 CS opposed to Solitude with only 36.
Yeah,
the gold difference is already, it's already pretty dramatic. And we have Zach coming here on the bush.
Goes in.
They don't know he's there. There's no wards, and he was using his red trinket.
Oh, and he does manage to get out. Fable does have to flash.
The thing was,
engage.
Foresto-kun. He missed his stretching strike. And that's unfortunate, but we do have another fight coming in. Wow.
And Crash Can gets taken down by Solitude. I don't think Fable can make it out of this alive. He will also fall. That's the double kill over to Solitude for Gar Crush 1.
Gar Crush 1 looking good. It's 4-1 right now, and a lot of gold in the pocket of Solitude. 2-0-1.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Even the gold back up.
Yeah, there might be a CS difference of only 13 at this point, but hey, you got 2 kills and an assist.
And some plates. It looks like they're going to get 2 plates off of this.
2 plates, and it looked like it was only to the two Solitude and to Lawakits, so that's 60 each instead of like 40 or whatever it is. You're like, whenever there's 3, it's like, come on.
With the invade, he's going to have to fight this. He does get taken to the Death Realm.
Yep.
And Cupstep not able to pull that out, and he does fall to RTB.
The tough thing about it is when you're a melee champion up against a Mordekaiser there is you have to stand in his aura and just fight him in that. Even if he goes golden, which he doesn't have Azania's right now, but if he did, you're just standing in aura still, and and you're like, gosh, dang it. But that is always just such an uphill battle when you're in the Death Realm, as well as just standing in aura just to deal damage. And so yes, Cubstep does die to
he overstepped
RTB.
a little bit. I don't think that he should have been invading like that while being so far behind in the lane.
It was ambitious.
He was a kill behind plus some CS difference. Now he's a lot of CS difference,
Yeah, that's a 2-0. That's a 2-0 Mordekaiser with the CS
That's
lead.
scary.
With the CS lead, and so things are looking very strong here for GarCrush 1.
And we do have Rift Herald that just showed up as well.
I just realized these are backwards. GarCrush 1 is on the red side. GarCrush 3 is on the blue side. I was like, wait a minute. I'm getting confused at this point. GarCrush 3 is looking good right now. GarCrush 3.
Yeah, GarCrush 3 is one of the advantage here.
And we got here in the mid lane, Lord Arkin. Akron. Jeez, I'm crow. Lord Akron. And M and Pestilence kind of just going back and forth. Their CS relatively the same with an assist here for Lord Akron.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's looking like they're keeping pretty steady. Everything, the waters are calm.
The waters are calm
in the mid lane.
but I think things are looking a little bit better for Lord Akron there. With the Zoe, you want to roam a little bit more. You want to be kind of that second jungler who grabs her farm and then heads off to either the top lane or the bot lane, try to get priority on those neutral objectives. And Lord Akron with Heimerdinger, I mean, because he's a perma push champion, has kept her in lane, forcing her to not be able to be a part of any of that any team fights here quite
she
yet.
hasn't been able to roam very much.
Ooh, we got something going on.
Aggressive. Wow, Crash Can being a little pushy there. Walks into 3 champions and falls to the thresh hook again. That's his second time.
Crash Can.
I think he's trying a little too hard to
you're ambitious,
make something
man.
happen.
You're ambitious. You may be the top ranked person here, but that doesn't mean that the other team cannot destroy you. They will do what they can to take you down. And yeah, if you don't have a fed,
the Sleepy Trovo lands.
Paddle Star. Wow, that's some
Lord
damage.
Akron really close to falling there.
He couldn't get the
step.
he couldn't get the turret in the way of the Paddle Star, which is one of the big counters. If you want to stop the Paddle Stars, get a turret right in front of it, and it will stop it before it hits him. Lord Akron
having to back on the minion wave, so that's going to force his teleport out. He won't be able to use that to help out anywhere else, though.
Yeah.
However, I don't think he'll need it for this Rift Herald. He's just going to get it for free. They don't even have vision.
I don't.
Forestokun not even aware that it's happening.
There was nothing going on. I don't know. I think RTB just let Cub step push forward all the way to his turret, and now we have the TP coming in. Holy cow, this is ambitious.
He stops the wave from pushing into the tower, and he does. I think he wants to fight Cub Step here, not knowing that Sejuani is right there.
The Death Realm is up for RTB
That's
here.
True.
So he might just want to try and bait out Sejuani's ult and then Death Realm Cub Step here. But we'll have to see because she has that Rift Herald. There he goes. The Rift Herald is dropped in the top lane.
It looks like they're wanting to get this Rift Herald off. Oh. Fable.
Ooh.
Fable and Crash Can both falling again.
Wow.
True Solitude and Lawakits, they're taking over this game.
And the Rift's Herald could not take too many plates off of. I mean, the plates just fell, but it couldn't take down the turret there.
They got 2 plates off of that, and that was it. Oh, Cup Step being really aggressive.
Oh.
Forestokun trying to force the play.
Jinx
the ultimate comes
and it's
through.
Good. They made it all the way from downtown.
Oh, the Jinx ultimate takes out.
I can hear the conversation right there. Is that Solitude saying, "I'm ulting, please, Forestokun." Just hold him right here. Just keep him here, and there will be a rocket in his face. And we saw it, and now that's another kill. That's 5-0-2 for
Crash
Solitude.
Can
Oh no!
Almost taken down solo.
Oh, barely misses.
Does barely manage to get out. Wow, what an aggressive game.
Lawakits
wanting to get another hook on him, but he is too far away.
Yeah.
Wow, that was quite a series of events.
This game definitely scrappy, very bloody on both sides, but in the end, GameTyrant 3 is doing a fantastic job at maintaining just the one death. They're doing so well. They do get chunked low, and it's kind of a back and forth, but there's always a solid edge.
Lead back. It looks like we did get a pause here.
Yeah, so we did get a pause. We will let you know what's up. Maybe we're having some connection issues with one of the computers, but we don't know quite yet.
But man, I mean 5-0-2 for Solitude. Now on a jinx.
That's big.
Already beating this early game in the Lucian Pike. Without having to over-aggress.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty much handed to him.
There is a huge gold lead and an item lead for Solitude up against Fable here, because Fable only has his Bork, and that's it. He has a dagger, so a little bit faster, but that is nowhere close to being built into an item, whereas you see here with the Infinity Edge as well as her crit item and another dagger.
It's true.
We're close to getting her
Berserker
Runin's Hurricane. It's big, and so Solitude, I think, is what is going to carry GameTyrant 3 into that late game.
Just like you called, that they just need to hold till late. They didn't even have to give up an objective for it, though.
No, they've got the objectives. They've been successful in shutting down, not particularly shutting down Savage Beast, but making sure that Savage Beast had no priority on neutral objectives. All that Savage Beast got was a Rift Herald that didn't do anything. It barely bopped a tower, and so they have been able to mitigate the presence and the pressure of Savage Beast here.
It's true, and I believe that they shouldn't have used the Rift Herald, even though that they were trying to get plates before the plates fell.
Right.
But I think it would have been smarter to hold it until until they could find an advantage either through the mid lane, trying to get Lord Akron, to fall behind and take over there. But
looks like all right. We will be jumping in back into game here. Here we go. But yeah, I do jumping on that idea of the Rift Herald. I think it wasn't the best play going that top lane. Maybe try and get that Zoe out of lane. Try to force a fight in the mid lane. Get the Rift Herald to knock down Lord Akron's tower. But no, they didn't. Both towers are standing strong in that mid lane.
They didn't use it to knock down a tower. Instead, they just used it for a little bit of extra gold, which is fine.
Yeah, and now Pestilence is still just locked in.
Oh,
he can't do anything.
Wanting to fight. I don't know if RTB realizes how strong he is. He does have to flash away, takes him to the death realm, but still falls.
That's always a good feeling.
As well as
my
the
gosh.
mid tower. Crash Can getting hooked again by Lawak.
Luckily, he was able to get away here, so. Wow.
And that
Lord Akron getting a kill there. Now he's 1-0-1.
They get the kill. They take another tower.
Now
Cubstep trying to get something back.
Yeah, the only two deaths that GameTyrant 3 has are was Lawakits getting caught out in the early game, and then this solo death, which I think RTB just didn't realize that with that Wit's End from Cubstep, it's going to be a little tough because he's got that magic resist now, and so he didn't expect the power spike.
Because once it's completed, you get healing once you're below half health.
Right.
So even though he did drop to half health faster,
it
didn't matter because of the magic resist and the healing.
Yep. And so I think that's the only two deaths, which I think is great mitigation here. But we have an engage.
Another fight here for Estokun having to pop the Zonias here, and Crash Can does use his ultimate to try and take him down, but the passive will go off. Cubstep taking down or shutting down.
Getting bullied by 3 people.
The Jinx.
Wow.
Wow. That was a lot of action. Lord Akron does take out Fable. Holy. So much action in one fight. Zoe going in.
To see it.
Lord Akron hits with the Sleepy Trouble Bubble over the wall.
Those are the Zoe plays you live for.
Wow, that's a 3 for 2.
But there is still priority for Garcrush 3 to get this Drake, and so that's 3 Drakes into a Cloud Soul, which will just lower the ultimate.
Pestilence will let him. She's
maybe.
going in for the engage. Lord Akron will fall.
Oh, no.
Forest Tokun trying to do something, but gets hooked by Crash Can. And he does get ignited and falls. Wow, that's both kills. That's all 5 falling down to Garcrush 1. That was a really messy fight.
It was messy. It was very messy. I'm sad to see how that played out because it was. I find it to be just disorganized. I don't know if they
shutdown gold. They had that big shutdown on Jinx.
Yep, Solitude.
Given over to Cubstep.
Yeah.
Who is a late carry.
If this game goes, if it goes to 40 minutes, but if it gets to 40 minutes, Cubstep will 1v9. He could kill the opposing team and then his own team again and still win the game by himself.
He's still able to teleport and protect this top lane.
Yeah. He definitely has. Oh, we do have a Phage here, so these are just a lot of healing. Bruiser items, not healing items. I guess technically healing, but
he even got the Merc Treads. So
but yeah, we got a lot of Bruiser game items here that I don't know if RTB can figure out how to play up against because he's now having to build the Seeker's Arm Guards.
Big fight here, 4v4.
Oh no, Lowakits, he got pegged by the Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Oh, barely short.
Oh man.
So Lowakits will live through that one.
Missing the paddle star is so sad every time. You're just like, I was this close to greatness.
However, Pestilence still yet to die. You know, everyone else on the team looking like 4 deaths with the exception of Savage Beast, who has only died once.
Yeah, Pestilence.
Pestilence keeping 0 deaths while still participating in all these fights.
I may have been overly critical about Pestilence not being able to roam. I mean, that was just the beauty of the beauty of Pestilence just surviving and getting all of that farm. But now he's showing up with so much damage, and we almost have 10 stacks on a Dark Seal here, which is going to be huge if once you get it into its completed item, you get that movement speed. As well as just insane amounts of AP until he dies. Yeah, if he dies.
That'll scale so well. He is definitely going to be strong into this late game. They are not wanting to give this up without a fight.
And I think we were saying it could either steamroll or it could be back and forth the entire time. And we're seeing the pushback, the pendulum of this game coming back for Garcrush 1. I don't think they're out of this game at all. We do have another pause here. I assume we're just having internet issues. But until then, now we were, the last pause, we're like, whoa, Garcrush 3, you have quite a bit of distance ahead of you, between you and Garcrush 1. You've created quite a lead.
And now it's almost even gold.
Yeah.
You know, that 6 kill difference.
Couple thousand is not bad
to cover that much ground. So so it's only a few thousand gold instead of where it was.
Right.
You know, almost 6,000-7,000.
Yeah, a couple thousand gold difference, which results in maybe an item.
Yeah.
A really low budget item, but Garcrush 1 is still maintaining. Their team fights are still just as strong. They know where their power spikes have been, and they can still play from behind this gold lead. And now all they have to do is start taking turrets. That's their next thing.
Yeah, if they can just keep this momentum of that fight and kind of snowball it into trying to get an advantage here, they might be able to pull something out. But and if you look at the gold difference here. Zoe and Heimer are actually neck and neck.
Ooh. Which is something good to say about Heimerdinger. I mean, he's able to... He does have 1 less kill. He has died once. But their they both have gotten 5. They're somewhere in 5 takedowns ultimately. You know, they've got 5 different times.
In the top lane, you have Cubstep with more gold now than RTB.
Yeah, and I think that attributing to that to the shutdown gold that Solitude had, which is a big sad moment. Just,
I'm pretty sure it was 1,000 gold shutdown.
I don't remember, maybe, but it was big because that was a 6-0-4 at the time before he died, and so I could see that 6-0-4 with the CS he has. It's relatively even between him and Fable on the CS, and so yeah, I think that's a pretty high bounty.
Yeah, we are still looking at almost the 2,000 gold difference in the bot lanes, but
that's okay. Just wait for Lucian late game.
Yeah,
wait for Lucian late game.
Wait for Lucian's late game. Wait for Cubstep, you know, to potentially pop off.
Yep. All right, we're back in.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back to the Rift.
So now, with that, we have 3 dragons already down. It's going to be a Cloud Soul, and Garcrush 1 didn't care to grab the first 2 dragons. They were like, we can get the rest.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not ultimately thrilled of having a Cloud Drake as the soul, but
I bet
you can get more Collings from.
I bet Crash Can would love this soul, because when he uses that ultimate, he can get that burst of movement speed to get the next.
Yeah.
If they do end up getting that soul, so that's really good for them. And same with the culling.
Yeah.
You know, that movement speed.
It's definitely a volatile bot lane there with being able to have their ultimates on a shorter cooldown like that. So, so good stuff. Now it's just lane swapping at this point. Looks like there might be some back and forth going on here in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think they're getting trying to get as prepared as possible for this Baron.
Yes, it is 22 minutes into the game. We do have a Baron and a Sleepy Trouble Pubble coming out. Ooh!
Barely missed.
Paddlestar missed again.
Yep.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it. But don't worry, Pestilence will be a force to be reckoned with once Zoe has all of her completed items. Yeah, she does have an Oblivion Orb as well, so we're looking into a Morellonomicon.
Oh, Crash Can with that quick dodge there.
He's learning now. He's like, I can't get hooked anymore.
He's like, I will
pull out all stops.
I gotta get out of here. You know.
He's like, I'm a head out.
Ooh. Oh, the hook coming for Savage Beast. He'll fall to RTB. The culling not going to be enough to take down anyone. And Garcrush 3 just stomping down this mid lane. I think that's 2 turrets. Fable.
Ooh.
Oh, he almost gets caught out, but just barely far enough away. Crash Can can't really do anything here. He's just going to have to let them take this. That's inhibitor.
Because these games are so back and forth, yeah, we see
they don't want this to go late.
Yeah, they want to end it as soon as possible, but they have such good engage. Their tower dive is insane. And because we have Mordekaiser, we have Zac being able to just take turret shot after turret shot. Even Thresh can do a thing or two.
Wow, another turret. They take down a Nexus turret while Cubstep was split pushing that whole time.
I mean, hey, I will let them I will let Cubstep take as many turrets as he wants.
Yeah.
If all of us are pushing a lot faster than he is, obviously, which is why
looks like they do catch out Fable. Zoe able to get out. Pestilence.
We're seeing all of the CC piled
on the bot side from the top laners. They both killed each other, and I think they want to finish this game.
Yeah, that's look like we don't have the stun here, but wow.
The elastic slingshot, not really going to get much, but
they're just being pushed to their fountain.
Turret, and they're on the Nexus. They have to do something
here. That might be it. I think
here.
this is game. Yep. There's nothing they can do.
Savage Beast trying to do anything to stop them, but that's
just hit the
game. Garcrush 3 just forced that end. Holy! I did not see that coming. I was expecting a Baron play of some sort, but
they didn't even kill Baron. They didn't even get Baron.
They just forced the game to
whatever.
end.
Yeah, we can break turrets without a Baron. But I do want to say I chose Gar Crush 3 as the winner.
Yes, you did.
I'm too good at this. I'm just too good.
I'm
just kidding. Just kidding.
Gar Crush 1 looked like they had something for a little.
Yeah.
And the gold difference wasn't that much. It seemed like they just kind of gave the game away.
Yeah, I think the big thing was they won a team fight, and they're like, wow, like we're going to be able to win future team fights, whereas, maybe they should have gone for a safer approach, try poke them down first before they can engage, because they have we saw that in the team fight before they got to the Nexus, is that they had 3 people just taking turret shots, and they would trade back and forth these turret shots between the Mordekaiser, between the Zac, between the Thresh. And you had Jinx, who was already fed. Solitude was doing well. She died a few times. He died a few times, but she still had so many items just built up that as long as a turret's not hitting her, she can stand in the back line, just fire away her little rockets, switch back to her machine gun, keep going back and forth, maybe drop an ultimate or two. But it was they didn't. I don't think that Gar Crush 1 knew how strong a tower dive they had, and that was the biggest thing.
I think it was also that splitting, the top laner splitting, I think was a good advantage for them to push, and I think that's what initiated it, was that they were losing the bot lane turrets, so they were going to push to respond. But he should have backed off and tried to stop the inhibitor at least.
Yeah.
Because at that point it was a 4v5.
Yeah.
And they were already at a disadvantage. There's no way that they can win that fight, especially without Jax, with all of his damage. And so, that was a crazy game. Out of nowhere.
Crazy indeed. I think it really threw us all for a loop there, but congratulations to Gar Crush 3. Well, hold on. Gar Crush 3, yes.
Yeah.
We've already had too many mix-ups. I'm just so confused at this point. But it was Gar Crush 3. Congratulations to them for going 3-3.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see what they are in the standings a little bit later. And we will have, coming up next, Down to Flash and Gar Crush 2, who are both 7-0 right now. They are both undefeated.
This is going to decide who's the top.
Yeah, who's number 1 and who's number 2
of the standings
before we get to playoffs. Because playoffs are its own beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, in round robin here, who's first seed and who's second seed. So we will come back to that after a short break, and for more League of Legends. Welcome back, everybody, to GameTyrant's League of Legends Winter Series 2020 in the heart of coronavirus. I feel like that should be said right now. This is like a historical time in which we're all just somehow quarantined and should only be 6 feet from each other. But, oh yeah, hold on. This is how we're going to do commentary for the rest of the night now. Just so that we... Oh, right. Wait. Just kidding. Let's get back to it. We do have our undefeated teams tonight, Down to Flash and Gar Crush 2.
Super exciting match coming up.
Oh, wow. We're getting really close. That's... I don't like that at all.
But I'm excited. I mean, strong teams overall. They're both Diamond last season.
Diamond.
For almost all of their players.
Mm-hmm.
And so it seems like it's going to be a neck-and-neck, really good fight between both teams.
It's going to be high play, like
a high level
of play. That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Thank you. High level of play here. We're going to see just such smart plays coming through, and I'm going to be so excited for that. And you were mentioning earlier we have Jolts, who's on Down to Flash. Hit Diamond 1, so
just hit Diamond 1.
So he's on the cusp. If he
got
Master, he's out. He's done. He can't be in this anymore. I don't care if he paid his $20 or whatever. I don't know how much it is. I don't care if he paid that money to be in this tournament. He's out. But no. So in Down to Flash, we have Silly Squirtle in the top lane with Jolts in the jungle, as well as Escape CL in the mid lane, Hide the Fish in the bot lane, and Yomi Hime. I read it, looked away, and lost all of it. Yomi Hime as their support. And then in Gar Crush 2, we do have Kodo Draco in the top lane with Will of D in the jungle. Garchomp 1 in the mid lane with Keaton Factor and McDonald's in the bot lane and support, respectively.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so good. I'm so excited.
Be so hype. I know Kodo Draco. He's very good, and especially being on his main role this year, as where he wasn't last year.
Yep.
Maybe that'll be the difference maker. Maybe that'll put them maybe a little ahead of Down to Flash and Jolts. Maybe Jolts won't win this time, but we'll find out here.
This is not even the tournament, though. This is just round robin.
It's true.
But this is going to be a good taste. And Kodo Draco always playing those big boys. But we're going to start off here in Champ Select, Gar Crush 2, dropping the Willump and the new Willump.
Yep, I know that's one of Jolts' main picks when he's going into team comp. Because it does have a lot of really good engage, lots of damage, and the Ari ban.
Good focus there on Garchomp. He does like to focus in on assassin mages or pseudo-assassins, as we see with Ari. She's kind of that, in between of a control mage and pseudo-assassin.
Oh, Echo. Now, I don't know if that's a target to jungle or mid lane, but probably mid lane.
We could see it either way, honestly.
It's true. It's a strong pick.
It's a good flex.
Roles,
it's a good flex pick right there that they have taken off the table, and we have an Ornn.
Ornn, of course.
Yeah. One of Kodo Draco's big boys there. He's got a couple of big boys in the top lane, but Ornn is just busted, especially with his ability to upgrade items for his teammates, make them stronger than what a normal Infinity Edge would do. You get a Molten Edge.
Makes the late game even more of a late game.
Yeah. Yep. And so that's off the table, as well as Zac and Syndra, and then the first pick, Senna. Yeah.
Senna. I wonder if this is going to be support, but it could be fasting Senna, but I doubt that. I think it's probably going to be either strip bot lane Senna or support.
I definitely hate playing against a Senna.
Yeah, lots of poke damage.
The poke is unreal. The healing is unreal. It's like
another Zoe.
It's so tough to play with, and so we got a Zoe for the pick on Down to Flash here. Escape CL most likely taking that one. Unless they do something saucy. I don't know. Who knows what they want to do.
Yeah, maybe it's the Zoe support. You never know.
Maybe they're just going to go mage bot lane. And that cancer. Ugh.
Zoe and who else? Cassiopeia.
Yeah.
Bot.
No, please no. We're done. We're done with that. But our
Nami's
saving
the
grace
boy.
was Nami here. We got a Nami and then a Nautilus. So it looks like we might go for we could see a fasting Senna strat here if maybe we'll see though.
Or just 80 carry.
Maybe just a normal 80 carry Senna. Yeah.
But
we'll it all depends on itemization at that point. You know, if she whips out the sickle, then we'll know.
Either way, still strong pick.
Yep.
The new Wukong.
Woo!
I assume that's going top lane for Kodo Draco. Or it could be going jungle.
It could go anywhere. In my opinion, he can go anywhere except bot lane because it's already picked. It's already picked. That's why.
And I assume Wukong would be good into most of Jolt's picks, but I think Kodo Draco will be taking this top lane. But I guess we'll find out.
We'll have to see the rest of the picks coming through.
Yeah, sure.
Flex pick, and then the last but not least, Mordekaiser for the first phase. Yeah, I think Mordekaiser is still a strong champion. We did see RTB really showing up with it last game. He did kind of fall short in the mid game against the Jax, but not a problem at all. He's still tanky as ever. He can still take a couple of turret shots while
took the game.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and so we'll have to see where Mordekaiser can be utilized in this game tonight. And so looks like Down to Flash did opt for dropping one of their bans. I assume something happened. We don't know all of the rules and regulations, but sometimes people miss a ban if last time they either forfeit or whatever. There's punishments of missing bans based on other things. Oh, okay.
It looks like it's supposed to be a Yasuo ban.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that was the other thing. I was like, it's either that or just an error on their part. They just kind of messed that up. But that is a Yasuo ban, so So God Crush 2 will not pick Yasuo, even though we can't see it. That's all right.
And then Sejuani, of course, still targeting the jungle picks. It looks like, that's 5 jungle bans.
That's big.
They're definitely targeting Jolts.
That is 5, with one of them being a slight flex. Well, I guess 2 of them, Olaf and Echo, technically can flex mid and top lanes, respectively. But
Sejuani, Zac, Nunu.
Yeah, that's
all jungle.
They're trying to shut down that D1 man. They're trying to shut down that D1 player. Tristana showing up though for Down to Flash. I love Tristana. I feel like I become very cancerous when I play Tristana for some weird reason. She's just she's explosive. She's so explosive that I become explosive in my attitude. I'm just I will destroy everyone now.
Morgana and Aatrox. So I assume Morgana mid, Wukong jungle, Aatrox top lane. But I know that there's been changes this patch.
Yeah.
It could be Morgana jungle.
Everyone's kind of flex picking right now here for Garcrush too. We honestly don't know what's going on. I just assume the Aatrox will be in that top lane because we don't really see Aatrox anywhere else. But everyone else, I guess the Nautilus would be bot lane as a support.
And the Lee Sin pick.
Yeah.
I think Lee Sin into Wukong.
In the jungle?
No, Wukong with his knockup can stop the engage of Lee Sin. So I don't know if it was the best pick to go to Lee Sin, but he's Diamond 1. He knows something we don't.
You think he's getting advice? Jolts is getting advice from somebody like me? No. I just guess really well. That's all I do.
We make well-educated guesses.
Yeah. Can we execute those educated guesses?
These guys know what's up.
All right, so we do have that Mord and the Aatrox. Okay, so they're gonna pick the champions that they chose for themselves. So because not everyone has all the champions to just flex that. We have a Morgana jungle. Will of D taking the Morgana jungle.
I called it Morgana jungle. Wow.
It's a new thing with the buffs on Morgana that she's able to deal extra deal that damage to those jungle monsters, jungle creeps. So she does show up. However, I mean,
and she's honestly pretty good at clearing, especially after she's got the jungle item.
Yeah,
she can clear like all of the raptors fairly quickly.
Yeah, her corrupting soil there will definitely burn away all of the multi-target or multi-creep camp sections, whereas like she can also just get her root, her binding on the single
to prevent taking damage.
Yeah, so she will be strong. She just never really showed up because she was always stronger in lane than anywhere else. So Wukong is going to be in that mid lane with the Senna bot lane. And now it's confirmed. Now we know where everyone's going. It was all just all sorts of flexes going on at that point.
Wow, Morgana, Lee Sin into Morgana.
Yeah.
That's even tougher.
Well, the biggest thing though is Morgana's Black Shield will be able to stop the Lee Sin Q, or his Q, and any form of engage from him can easily be stopped. Oh wait, what?
Oh.
Hold on. Okay, they're just messing with us. We're not going to talk about this until they're done. Until you guys are done, chill out. Pick your picks.
They pulled a quick one on us. It is Morgana
Those
mid
sneaky
into
boys.
the Zoe.
That
That actually makes more sense.
Yeah.
For it to be Morgana into Zoe.
But
I would have liked to see the Morgana jungle.
Yeah.
But it is Morgana versus the Zoe here. Wukong in the jungle.
Hopefully they do have the similar like LCS rules. It's like after the last 20 seconds you can't swap champions anymore. But either way, that's how it shakes out. Wukong is in the jungle. We got jebaited here. Jeez 'em.
Classic junglers.
They got us. They fooled us. And so we do have that Wukong in the jungle and the Morgana in the mid lane. Okay, that's a little bit more traditional that we've seen. But the Wukong with his rework, things are a little bit different now. So he's definitely stronger in that jungle, and so we'll see if Will of D can really face up against Jolts here, who is our D1 player.
Yeah.
He's that close to just getting nixed off the team, because he's so close to master.
And I know that Lee Sin's engage. Like if he engages on one of Wukong's clones, maybe.
Right.
Where the clones can cast abilities now.
Yeah.
It'll be easy to mistake him for his clone.
Yeah.
And so, I'm excited to see what trickery he does. I mean, he's already pulled a trick on us in the jungle.
On us,
he was Morgana,
Fooled us.
We already know he's a trickster.
Sneaky boy. What a sneaky boy.
That Will of D.
We have 1 minute and 40 seconds of spectator delay here until we jump into game. And so with that, we have our teams. We have them set up. We got a traditional bot lane down to Flash, but we have a fasting, I assume what will be a fasting Senna lane, getting the sickle as well as the relic shield for Nautilus, trying to get as much damage as we can in as many souls as we can for Senna here.
One thing I am surprised about is that Set was not picked
or
in response to the Mordekaiser or banned. And Aatrox was favored over it. I wonder what the difference is in that matchup against the Mordekaiser.
I'm not sure. Maybe it could be just as easy as Comfort.
Yeah.
Or he knows more than we do about about his ability to play up against a Mordekaiser as a Set player. And so, but I do believe
this is going to be a close match.
It's going to be so close. I hope it's going to be so close. If it's a steamroll, if it's like 2018 League of Worlds, Worlds 2018, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm done. Like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
All right, who are you rooting for?
I want Garcrush 2 to win. I think they have what it takes to pull off that fasting Senna strat and definitely make sure that the Tristana doesn't get fed. As long as Hide the Fish is able to, or as long as they can hold off Hide the Fish, her crit items won't really be. She won't be able to get her IE for quite some time here. So
yeah, and this is the standings.
Yeah, once we were about to jump into game here, Garcrush 2 and
down to Flash and Garcrush 2 at the top.
Everyone else has lost at least 2 games.
100% win rate.
Yeah, like Thick Boys, the only loss they had was against Down to Flash and Gar Crush 2.
Yep.
That was so Thick Boys is close, but there's like a stark
there's a
difference.
little gap.
Yeah, it's kind of a distance between
now
them.
we just need to see where that next gap is. Is it Down to Flash or Gar Crush 2?
Folks at home, you guys, I think we have a poll thing that happens, but who do we want? Who we want winning? We got Down to Flash and Gar Crush 2 here.
So
I'm gonna say
Gar Crush.
say Gar Crush 2 because I know you're a Jolts fanboy and you're gonna say Down to Flash.
Fanboy. I think Down to Flash is going to take it. I don't have a doubt.
Okay.
I have a sliver of a doubt, but it's not much. I think they got it.
I think I want to see gods bleed. That's what I'm saying. I want to see gods bleed here.
I love it.
So we are in on Summoner's Rift here. It looks like Down to Flash is really clumping up on that bush on the bot side here, while as the rest of Gar Crush 2 is just kind of spread out across the line of scrimmage.
I don't think they're going for the invade. I think they were just prepped for if there was an invade.
Yeah, with Nautilus, it's an easy way to he's a champion that can go in for an invade and get a good lockup. And so they wanted to make sure that they weren't going to get wrecked themselves. But Gar Crush 2 opted to just a simple line of scrimmage start on the river line.
Now, I'm excited to see the jungle pathing. I see that they're both starting red.
Yeah, starting reds
and that
here.
makes sense to them being aggressive junglers.
Yeah, they'll want to get through their camps as quick as possible here, and that's what Red Buff will do for them, is be able to burn down those camps just seconds faster, get to level 3, and then look for a gank in one of the lanes. Try to start influencing the lanes as soon as possible for either side. And yeah, we do.
The quickest way to do that, it would be like going. I assume they're gonna go red, blue, Gromp, gank.
Yeah, that's a big one. Gromp is still the strongest play here.
Except Jolts is going to Krugs. So he could be doing something, a full clear or something like that.
We could see a full clear. I know a lot. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the most optimal way if he's deciding to just stay on that top side. So he might go for full clear, or he might try to get Krugs and then chickens, or raptors, I guess you can call them.
Yeah.
They're raptors, but I call them chickens. And then look for a gank on that top side still, because he knows that Wukong will be there as well. Will of D will be there as well.
Did you know at one point the Raptors actually were chickens during the event with the pizza delivery server?
Oh, yeah.
And the what is it? Galio skin. What's that Galio skin?
Yeah, the Birdo.
Birdio.
Birdio, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Birdio.
They made the Raptors chickens.
Okay. So we do have the push here from Garchomp, so he has priority.
I love that skin on Zoe. That Star Guardian skin.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. We do see the strength of Nautilus here. He is such a healthy champion. Because his shield is super strong, and when you get the right runes, you're able to deal so much extra damage with the shield. And then a little bit of a trade in the top lane.
Showing his dominance up here in the top lane.
Yeah.
Step back from these minions. These are mine.
We do see, though, McDuddles took Relic Shield. He didn't even take a support item, so interesting play here.
Oh, and the fight.
I don't know if Nami's going to survive. Oh, yeah, she'll be okay. Barely survives with a sliver of health.
She does hop in, and she falls. And the gank from Jolt's coming through. I think he's going to get Senna. Oh, the heal. I don't think she can make it out, but...
No, but she'll try to do what she can.
Dude,
the Keaton factor.
Fall
the Keaton factor lived so long. It required both Jolts and Escape to be there.
And they both responded fairly quickly on that and took them both down. So a 2-for-1 trade.
Wow.
That's not the difference that they thought they were going to get from that.
The big problem here, Garchomp here, he wasn't even able to get a turret yet because the turrets are, or the plates, because the turrets are so tanky right now that it takes so much.
Fairly slow.
It is. She had the priority, but then with the priority, it bounced. That's what happens with when you go for early pushes. You expect it to bounce and then freeze it at your lane, but it went in Garchomp's against Garchomp's favor in letting Escape roam down to get the kills.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the biggest disadvantage to the Morgana mid lane. Is that the roaming potential isn't there as much as something like Zoe.
I definitely agree, and so maybe we'll see Moby Boots coming in from her, or.
Well, we also got Will of D taking the Krug in Jolt's jungle after being in bot lane.
I mean,
the last engage on the Tristana, but she makes it out just fine.
Has to just rocket jump away.
And they take a little bit of damage, but not much. They do have a lot of sustain with Nami.
Yeah, Nami will always keep Hide the Fish healthy, unless she gets poked down herself. Then she's like, I gotta head out, you know. And then there's a little bit of trouble. But as long as she's got mana, she's got heals, and so things are looking pretty good for Down to Flash here on that bot side. Definitely, it's still anyone's game though. We got just single kills going on, spread out between Jolts, Escaped, and the Keaton Factor. Ooh.
Oh, it does get rooted, but it's able to just hop away.
The big problem here. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. I'll talk later.
Yomi Hime getting poked out. The engage coming through for the Wukong.
Jolts.
But Jolts is here to spawn. And McDoodle's not very much escape potential here.
Good
Jolts
TP.
gets knocked
Two
down
TPs.
by Will of D. And Tristana trying to get the response kill, but instead falls.
Oh my gosh.
And Hide the Fish gets knocked down by the Senna.
Silly Squirtle's like.
Silly Squirtle is next
have
to fall.
Yeah, I was like, you're surrounded, buddy. You are surrounded.
Not good for Down to Flash. Guard Crush 2.
Uh-oh. Just block the way. Will of D is alive.
Will of D lives.
How much health does he actually have? 50 health. Are you kidding me?
Holy.
Oh, wow.
And they still get the kill. Keaton Factor is going to be huge.
That was very big for Garchomp there. Garchamp.
A very strong fight from both sides.
Yeah.
But Garcrush 2 just had the advantage. McDoodle's caught out and given a kill back to Hide the Fish.
Will of D playing with fire right there, backing right in the middle of the dragon pit. But we got Jolts showing up here. Death pushing, he's dead.
Caught out. Keaton Factor gets another kill on Jolts.
Big. That is
not playing at the top of this game, I guess.
Things are not looking good. Jolts, you're 1 and 2, man. You're 1 and 2. Things are struggling. You're getting ambitious here, and you're getting caught.
That's a 1 and 2 Senna bot lane.
Yeah, 500 gold bounty already, and
And
let's see here. We do have just a little bit of push here in the bot lane. So I mean, McDoodles.
They're gonna get 2 turret plates.
Yeah. That's 120 gold each.
At least that's okay. They got a little bit of something out of it, but not as much as Garcrush 2 got.
What I was going to mention earlier before we got into that just absolute nutty fight, Hide the Fish had to most of the time would rocket jump away from fights to disengage himself, which is not what you want to do. Like you don't want to be poked out that much that you have to rocket jump away.
Oh, another fight coming through. They're going to gank onto Kodo Draco, and I don't think he can get away. This is a 3v1.
No, but he's trying to do what he can.
He does fall to Silly Squirtle.
It took 3 of them there, and so we do have priority in the mid lane for Garchomp to try and take more turret plates there.
They're going to push the wave.
Yeah.
Bot lane's also getting turret plates. Because there's not much that this Tristana and Nami can really do to fight this back now. They just kind of have to hang out. You know, except that they lost the fight. Oh, Will of D going in for the engage. He does fall asleep.
The Senna ult did not land right into the middle of where Escape CL was, so he didn't take the damage of a Senna who already has her first lethality item there. That's
so much.
That's
damage.
big. And it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
The more serrated Dirks you find yourself holding, you're just like, well, I guess I'll die.
Wow.
Things are looking good for Gar Crush 2 right now, though. So.
Yeah. This is the spot lane is gonna be something really hard to deal with. However, the gold difference is only 1,000.
Will of D.
Maybe 2,000.
Oh, he got away just in time.
He makes it out.
Yep.
The ultimate
Whoa.
does go through, but Jolts gets caught out again. McDoodles with the Nautilus ult, point click takes him down, and they're gonna also take the blue buff.
Yeah. Jolts and Will of D right now, we can see, have even CS at 48. They both have 1 kill. The problem is we're seeing Jolts being taken out of the game 3 times.
Yeah.
And that is huge in just creating, having presence in these lanes. You can't create presence when you've got a gray screen. You can't.
Yeah.
You're chilling in a fountain. You're not anywhere close to forcing Kodo Draco out of this push. But hey.
Oh, Silly Squirtle takes him to the death realm to try and get this fight off. But
wow.
And Nami shuts down. Silly Squirtle takes down Kodo Draco. Will of D does take out Yomi Hime and hide the fish.
The burn on from that red buff is what killed Yomi Hime. Was the burn. That's amazing. Ult coming out here. Wow. Can we get it?
Escape CL makes it out.
Yeah.
Escape CL.
He escaped. Clearly.
Wow. What a game so far.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Yomi Hime was the one that got all of that shutdown gold.
Yep.
So, I mean, in retrospect, both supports are the ones that are fed. You know?
Yes. Yes. That is very true.
The fasting Senna.
And I mean, yeah. Like the Nami, she got, she's able to get redemption already with their Swift boots of swiftness.
Now, I do like the Boots of Swiftness pickup because I don't know if you saw the changes. Boots of Swiftness did get a bump in movement speed. Oh, another fight.
Oh my gosh.
I guess not really a fight, just a catch out. Hide the fish. Immediately knocked up and taken down by Will of D and the Keaton Factor.
Yeah. McDoodles was also there. Was able to make sure that the rocket jump didn't take her anywhere because it's not a blink.
Him down.
It's a dash. It's coded as a dash, and so you can hook her out of the sky.
It's
like a just throwing it like a grappling hook, catching her out of the sky.
Jolt's trying to get some XP back after losing all of his jungle camps. Trying to get something.
Yeah,
takes
showed
the
up.
enemy Grom.
And he's able to do that because as of right now, Kodo Draco does not have.
He doesn't have priority.
The fight priority. He can't 1v1 this. He can't 1v1 Silly Squirtle right now. But gets the pullback. The World Ender coming through.
Oh, Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Missed.
A lot of damage. Oh,
wow.
Kodo Draco instantly knocked down. What a quick fight. They're gonna pull out the Rift Herald. I think this will be the first tower. If they can get one more plate.
How we looking? Yeah, how we looking on the bot side? That's the real question. Oh, that's a sliver of health. Just hit the Oh, there we go. Got the Rift Herald, and there's plenty of health on that bot side tower still.
Away from that turret falling.
Sad moment, and definitely a smart play, in my opinion, to just back away from the turret. If you got the turret, first blood turret, great. If not, that's fine. You're not dead at least. So smart play there on
a little bit of gold for 300 given over to the enemy.
Yeah. But either way, things are still looking healthy on the bot side. Bot side tower for down to flash, and we got a back coming through Nami.
Oh, Nami stops the back. The Keaton Factor caught out, backing in a greedy spot.
Greedy.
Gives the kill over to down to flash.
Yeah, there we go.
And hide the fish.
Yeah, hide the fish was able to get that one, and so luckily there wasn't any bounty gold on the Keaton Factor at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's still 300 gold in the pocket of a Tristana, who is close to
her
her Infinity Edge. Yeah, but She did have to spend a little bit of her.
The engage, but I don't think that
McDoodles
can kill Hide the Fish with Nami being there.
No. Will of D, though.
Will of D is close by. He could be looking to fight.
He did get caught out by that ward, and now a control ward coming in that tri-bush.
And Jolts comes down to try and respond.
Oh, Keaton Factor almost getting bopped by that Q.
I think, that's the second tower. First tower was taken top lane. Escape CL is getting really low. He does have to back off. The ultimate coming through from Wukong.
Mordekaiser, Death Realm.
Hide the Fish does fall. He's taken to the Death Realm.
Oh.
And takes him out, but I think he will fall in the middle of 4 members right here.
Yeah.
Ooh. And Nami got in there for no reason. He was gone either way. I don't know why she had to go back in.
I don't know. Maybe trying to save.
Trying to save him. Trying to do something. But
trying to save that silly Squirtle.
Didn't need to happen.
He didn't have to. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta say, "See ya, teammate.
Yeah.
You messed up. You done messed up, AA Ron,"
yeah.
and then you get out. You know, that's what's up. And so now we have 4 dead there and a turret down on the bot side here, opening up the potential for Senna and for Nautilus to roam into the other 2 lanes. And
now we're looking at over 2,000 gold difference.
Yeah.
The gap's getting a little bit bigger as we go.
Absolutely. And things are looking very good right now for Guard Crush 2.
Yeah.
They are more consistent in the team fights. They've given up 9 kills because of interesting, odd picks, ambitious backs, things. You know, maybe a little bit of messed up execution, but their team composition is so well set up that they can just unload the damage and sustain themselves to have a long team fight. As with the Senna being able to heal, as well as the knockups from Nautilus, the roots from Nautilus, the Will of D just coming in with a crushing blow to just start wrecking everybody.
Yeah, Will of D has been showing off this game. 3-0-7. That's 10 out of 15 kills he has participated in.
Yeah,
himself.
That's big. That is a 66% kill participation right there.
Technically, it's 66.66. Oh, another fight. The ultimate coming through.
Getting caught.
Escape CL. Kodo Draco will get that kill.
He's going to get yanked back, yep.
Silly Squirtle trying to do something, but he has no mobility. I think he's going to fall. Oh! Hide the Fish takes the death instead for him.
Did you see Morgana's Q, though? It half health Hide the Fish. She sniped from, weaved in between all of those champions right there and took half of the health of Tristana here, which was an easy cleanup for the rest of the team. And so you just see the power coming through from Morgana. She has 6 stacks on her Dark Seal, as well as the Luden's Echo, and working towards Azania's at this point. And now they've got 3 dragons under their belt.
They're 1 away, and this being the Mountain Soul, that is going to make these guys really tanky, especially with it being Nautilus, Mordekaiser, Nautilus, Aatrox, and Wukong.
Yeah.
They're going to be unkillable.
Yeah. We see the Nautilus is standing in all of these team fights here, and then he just and then everyone jumps on him, and the rest of the team just really backing off here. But we do have looking here at the gold difference, we see quite a bit. I mean,
if you look at how good this fasting Senna is, she has 15 CS.
Yep.
And has over 1,000 gold difference.
All right, so we're gonna see the replay of last fight here in the mid lane, and then we'll get back to it. So right here we have the engage. Hide the Fish has to jump out. Oh wait.
Looks like this is a fight.
There's another fight happening. Just kidding. We're not gonna do the replay.
And Jolts falls immediately, not able to steal that.
Ooh, the snipe from downtown.
Oh! Triple kill over to the Keaton Factor. He is taking over this game.
Keaton Factor is doing work right now. And we can attribute a lot of his gold to being the kills he's gotten, but as well as the fasting Senna strat. He's actually not even utilizing it to its fullest potential because you can get 20 CS per 5 minutes,
but
and he's only gotten 12.
He's going
or 18.
straight for those souls.
Yep, and just getting all the souls, get the gold there. And Senna, who right now is dead, but still is just a monster. If they can peel for her, which it's easy when you got an Aatrox and a Nautilus
and
there.
if you look at the difference here, there's only been one kill that she has not been directly involved with.
Yeah. She's got the highest kill participation. We were like,
yep.
whoa, Will of D having 15 out of 20.
Well, and
not
think
anymore.
About that means that even like top lane kills, she has been a part of all 4
yep.
of Kodo Draco's.
Yeah, with the heals on her ultimate, yeah. It's big stuff from
playing really well
the Keaton factor, yeah.
on Garcrush 2. These guys are killing it.
All right, we're at a solid reset at this point. Garcrush 2 is like, all right, we had our fun. We'll let you guys breathe for a second. We'll go buy our big boy items here. And so we've got a Duskblade as well as a BF sword on Senna right now.
Garcrush 2 are definitely looking for a Baron play here.
Oh, yeah. The next dragon won't show up for another couple minutes. I would assume about 2.5 minutes. So yeah, the next thing we're looking at, 21 minutes into the game, Baron has spawned, and they do still have the Rift Herald. No, they dropped their Herald. I'm sorry, they dropped the Herald already.
Yeah.
But they had the second Herald, which is a stronger Herald, and so good push there. And now they're just gonna look for getting this Baron here.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to respond to much. Yeah. They just kind of have to play safe from here. The trouble bubble comes out. Wukong is asleep, but not knowing if that was his clone or not definitely makes it a deterring factor.
Yeah, it's
you don't really
the clones are annoying.
Back in.
I hate playing with the champions with clones like LeBlanc and
Shaco.
Yeah, Shaco. And soon to be Fiddlesticks.
Fiddlesticks.
But yeah, with the clones in play, it's just tough to just disengage, and then re-engage with the rest of your team if that's just the fake Wukong.
If you don't know if it's the real one.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, Kodo Draco and Silly Squirtle duking it out. He will fall. Shutdown gold going over to Silly Squirtle, but all 4 of his team members
the Goon Squad
responded immediately to take him out. And Cloud getting really low in his jungle. He's going to have to give up more jungle farm.
Ooh, depth charge coming through.
Oh.
Wow.
He gets hooked. Hide the Fish immediately knocked down, but also killed Keaton Factor with the bomb.
Yomihime got the kill.
Oh.
Yeah, Nami got that kill, which is so much better for Garcrush 2 than having Hide the Fish with the kill.
Wow, still alive. Nautilus is a tanky boy.
He's big.
He takes down Will of D, takes down Jolts, and the second ult going through, but still gets shut down. His first death over to Silly Squirtle. And Escape CL does shut down Morgana for her first death as well.
Garchomp won.
They are not going down without a fight.
That's first
now
deaths.
We're looking at it's only a 3,000 or 4,000 gold difference.
I think that was a greedy play from Garcrush trying to just like keep the pressure up. Because that dragon was there, and now it's lost. I mean, they have plenty of time. Holy cow!
Wow, that's Zoe damage.
She will only get stronger, especially with her snipes.
The Mordekaiser wants to get something. McDonald's is really tanky, but will get shut down by Hide the Fish.
What?
Silly Squirtle still trying to tank that damage for him.
Gosh.
Hide the Fish getting really low. Will of D pulled into the death realm, so he can't get the kill on the Tristana, and I think he's gonna fall. Yep. Silly Squirtle. Wow.
Mordekaiser doing great work
off.
sending people to the death realm with him that he knows he can 1v1 and be able to take care of. I'm sure he can honestly take anybody to the death realm right now because of how strong Silly Squirtle is, and now that's a free Baron.
And it was a really good response where the Wukong was trying to dive past and get that last hit on Hide the Fish and just pulls him right out.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just gotta let it be. You gotta be sad that you lost the kill, but don't go in for it, especially when you got Death Realm on the line.
And that's Baron going over to Garcrush.
Things have come back, too. The gold difference is now swung in favor of Down to Flash now. They have, technically, I mean, it's about even, but there's 400.
They were
400 gold.
There were almost 5,000 gold difference.
Yep.
Earlier this game.
And that's not to say that Garcrush 2 is out of this fight. It's just they made some silly mistakes. I think it was their lack of execution and the things they were looking for. They were shoving too hard. They were being too aggressive in that bot lane while Dragon was still up or Dragon was spawning, and that they got caught out. And then there's a free Dragon. And then when we saw early after that, Will of D trying to get the kill on Tristana and Hide the Fish, who had 4 people in front of him.
They're getting really, they're getting really greedy.
They're trying to close out this game. They're trying to style and finesse on Down to Flash right now, but it's not working for them. And so we see the mistakes being made, but it's still not over quite yet.
And then they do still have this Baron. You gotta see how they decide to push this. Now it's crazy to see this difference of now Garcrush are playing scared.
Yeah. They made some mistakes.
Oh, the Sleepy Trouble Bubble does land. Jolts goes into the back line, almost takes down Keaton, but does live. He hops out with only losing. Oh, wow! Escapes CL with so much damage. That's the inhibitor.
Gosh. That might be game. They've got a few minions.
I don't think they can respond to this. They have Baron pushing down on these Nexus turrets in a 3v5 situation. That's the first turret going down. Will of D trying to make something happen.
Wow.
That's the second turret going down. 4 down to Flash. They're pushing onto the Nexus. But now all of them are back. Kodo Draco back in 2 seconds. He's now respawned. So they're gonna wait. They've decided to pull out on that, not risk.
I'm honestly
too much.
I'm curious if they could have ended that right there.
I think they could have.
Say everyone just hit the Nexus. Just hit it, and if you die, you die. Just hit the Nexus. That might honestly be too risky at this point. Death timers are pretty high.
With McDoodles and Will of D being up and having their ultimates.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of CC, and they could possibly have bursted them down. So
I do agree. We have the Mountain Drake almost spawned here, so they are starting to ward out that Dragon River and the Dragon Pit.
They can't let Garcrush get this, because if Garcrush does manage to get this Mountain Soul, they're going to be a lot harder to take down.
Ooh.
Oh, caught out. Yomi Hime does fall. Will of D gets really close, but he is able to survive.
Oh,
Jolts takes down Keaton Factor, though, forcing Garcrush to fall back and give up the Mountain Soul.
Their positioning is a little is what's their downfall at this point. We saw the Keaton Factor kind of backed up against the wall of Dragon Pit here. There was no way for him to get out unless he flashed, which he doesn't have right now. He doesn't have his flash, and so he was trapped, and there was a Zoe flying in with a paddle star, getting ready to take him out, and I believe she dealt quite a bit of damage, and then Jolts taking the rest of it home, taking down the Keaton Factor, who was what was supposed to be the big damage dealer, the reason why we all hate Senna.
Yeah, think
that was
about
supposed
it.
to be it.
She was 6 kills, or 6 kills with no deaths.
Yeah.
And now she's 12 kills with 8 deaths. And another fight forced into the death realm. Silly Squirtle trying to make something happen, take out McDoodles, knowing that he can't deal any of that damage that's needed.
And
Hide the Fish takes down everyone. They're just dishing out so much damage. Silly Squirtle, so tanky. And Will of D trying to make something happen and take down Yomihime, but she has so many heals.
But the burn.
Barely able to get the kill. But that's the end of the game.
Yeah, that's game right there.
GG's.
Wow.
Down to Flash. Takes it home. What did I tell you?
I mean,
wow,
this is why both teams are 7-0. We're 7-0, and now 8-0 for Down to Flash and 7-1 for Gar Crush 2.
Is
that
wow? I honestly, if you had told me 10 minutes into that game that Down to Flash was gonna win it, I wouldn't have believed you.
Oh, I was like, I got 2 for 2 tonight. Okay, I'm all right with this. But no, Down to Flash showing up, and
I guess they were also down to win.
Yeah. they were down for anything at that point. You know, down for a Nexus, down for all of it. And at this point, I honestly don't know how much of it was Down to Flash just like holding out for the mid to late game and then finding their power spikes, or was it Gar Crush 2 making some clerical errors to say that really got them caught out in the wrong scenarios that they don't want to be in.
It's true.
And I think I will say it's a combination of both. I think Down to Flash noticed those things so well that's what they could capitalize on it, because it wasn't like too big of problems. There was a little bit of overstay for that earlier Mountain Drake, but it wasn't like, oh, this is a blatant mistake, now we can capitalize. It was they're overstaying just too long. We can poke down one and then just finish out the rest of the team fight.
Yeah, I think Gar Crush just got a little bit overconfident as they were getting that lead. And, it's easy to make mistakes in that position, and they just gave it right back. Gave it to Down to Flash. Even though, I mean, we saw Joltz wasn't like overperforming or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was definitely lackluster. They were taking over the game and controlling him in the jungle, but that shouldn't have been their only focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably where they fell off a little bit, not keeping Mordekaiser under control, not able to keep their mistakes down to a minimum.
Right. No, I definitely agree. Silly Squirtle was just dominating later on in that game. Every time he would go into the death realm with somebody, it was a dead champion on the other end. He sent them to the death realm and then to the fountain. He was gone, and so that always just made chaos for the rest of Gar Crush 2. They were just like, where do we go? Where do we go? I don't know what's going on. We missed it. We're missing a guy. Okay, we got damage here. Yeah, we can see Mordekaiser. Silly Squirtle.
And Zoe with so much damage.
Yeah. Those the top and mid
of them. Senna with a close third.
Yeah.
She probably would have been at the top 10 minutes into that game. But they just gave it over. I mean, if you look, the highest ranked player with the lowest damage on the charts.
Is he really Diamond 1? Just kidding, Joltz.
He
just
didn't even have to carry the game.
Yeah, he was fine with that. I mean, he got caught out a few times, and he said that's okay. The win condition isn't on me because Lee Sin doesn't late game too well, it was make sure that the sleepers there were the Zoe and the Mordekaiser, and then late enough they were just like, well, what do we do? There's this paddle star flying into my face.
It's true, and some of those paddle stars, so much damage.
Yeah, it was insane. So we can say that we saw gods bleed, but they also won.
They
and
just
Down
slapped
to Flash.
the Band-Aid on it.
Yeah, Down to Flash is 8-0. going in at the end of this round robin, and we'll have an updated standings list soon about this. But yeah, it is 8-0 and 7-1 for Down to Flash and Gar Crush 2. Yeah, we won't have an updated right now, which is unfortunate, but whatever.
And you can always follow us on Twitter. I assume one of us can post the link.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In our Twitter.
We can definitely do that. We will take a hiatus next week. We do not have any games next Saturday. Hold on.
Oh, so Silly Squirtle had 4 deaths this game, which is 4 times the amount he's had in all of the rest of the games total.
Combined.
Mm-hmm.
Silly Squirtle really doing work. I think we're like, whoa, Jolts, wow. And then the other teams are like, oh, yeah, we'll listen to the casters. We're debating everybody else.
A monster in the top lane. Holy cow. That
Definitely.
Mordekaiser. So much damage. It was an insane game. Awesome from these players, and I'm hoping to see more of it.
Yeah, so we will not be here next week, but the week after we will post about our playoffs with everyone seated in their proper seeds here, and stay posted here. We will be back in 2 weeks. Thank you again, everybody, for being here tonight at GameTyrant's League of Legends Winter Series for 2020. Be safe, wash your hands, and hand sanitizer.
Don't touch your face.
Don't touch your face, and stay 6 feet away from everybody. This is a PSA now, everybody. A PSA. Thanks again, everybody. My name is Joel Jason Nielsen.
And I'm Alex Honest Dragon Leon, and have a good night.
Welcome to the world, no, you